So, what's up? It's your boy Chad Ali. You know, I'm from Durham, North Carolina, but I've been currently residing in Charlotte for the last 3 years. And what do I do? I try to do a lot. I try to do a lot. But I'm learning that, you know, I can make music do everything that I really want to do. So music's my main passion, main goal, main things that I want to be successful in. So that's what I do. But what I live for is everything.
Okay. So speaking of music, let's jump right into your latest and your current project that you got coming out. The title of it and its overall theme.
True, yeah. You'll believe me later. You know, that title is somebody who is running as an independent, and as that goes in this game, you gotta really not bend no break for nobody. Like you gotta really believe in yourself and really season yourself before any deal. Like that's how I feel like you gotta start thinking about it as an artist nowadays. So with my music, this was a whole discography, like from my time being moving up to Charlotte for the last 2 to 3 years, just a whole combo of just everything I've been going through. Once I start living up here and things that situations I've been put in, so it's one of those things, it's a collection of everything that I've been seeing and doing while in Charlotte. So I feel like you'll believe me later, it's just one of those things to where every artist feel like they're getting slept on, or feel like people, they gotta do certain things for attention. But me, I'm just the type of dude, I give you a product, let you judge, do it for yourself. So you'll believe me later, it just speaks for itself with that title. So that's where I got that from.
What do you feel like sometimes might be the most overlooked aspect of your music or your art that might be get slept on?
The work ethic.
Work ethic.
Yeah, like people don't see the behind the scenes stuff. Like don't see everything, and that's a good thing because for me, like I said, it's all going back to being a seasoned artist before you're ready for that stage and spotlight. Like it's a lot of stuff you gotta go through before you just hop out there, or you won't be here long. Like you would be one of them niggas that, excuse me, like people that just drop a song and then it's like, hey, he was good for that one song. He ran for a year off that one song, but where everything else at, So that's why I had to sit back and look at the game from that perspective for myself. Like, what type of artist am I trying to be? Somebody who can be hot for a year or two just because you got a particular sound, or somebody who really creating an aura that's like, oh, what is he doing next? That's what type of music I want to have. Like, the next song, you go off the title, you hear it, and then you're like, oh, this is dope. I didn't know he was thinking like that. So that's why being independent is great for me, because I can really control my creative control and put out all the sounds that I want to put out. It's nothing better than that.
How would you, feel you were a successful artist? Like what type of things would need to be in place or going on for you to look back and say, you've made it, or you're a successful artist?
Being my terms of success is quite different from like the norm, but I guess I would say being successful for me would be seeing not just myself at the top, like seeing that everybody that came along with me and my growing also developed and made their business and their ideas profitable to where we're all working on our own entities. Like that's my idea of success. So that's what my whole network is about. It's about challenging them. It's really a challenge. It's a challenge to be like, look, we running somewhere and we ain't stopping. So if you see this boat going this way, I mean, hey, we on something that, is all about collective minds working on the same common goal, and that's when you can come uncommon people. So that's what I've been learning through reading and stuff. So I think my terms of success will be seeing more than just myself successful. So.
How would you describe yourself as an artist? Like if somebody wanted to know what type of music you make, how you describe yourself as an artist? What type of music do you make?
I'm pretty unpredictable. That's what I would describe myself. It's at a point to where I'm still shocking myself learning. Like, I mean, being funny, like, just riding down the road. Like, I take trips from Charlotte to Durham, and, like, I'm just in the car singing, making up the next hook, recording it, sending it to my producers, like, yo, this shit might be hard. Come back to Charlotte, he might have a beat already done. And, like, so that's why, like, I'm just the type of artist that really go with the wind. So I definitely say unpredictable because, like I said, I'm still shocking myself with some of the stuff I come up with. So that's why it's like, dang, I wonder how people gonna feel this if they liking this, you know. So I'm trying to challenge myself daily to not be afraid to be uncomfortable sometimes, to where it's like, oh man, I ain't used to think I could do something like this, but then I go play it for somebody and see how excited they get about it. That's the whole cool part about music. You really connect with people. It connects a lot of different people. So that's why I say I'm the type of artist that's unpredictable and hopefully can keep the hip hop, the R&B, and you know, more genres like even country music. If we gonna make that popular, hey, we'll have some more black country stars in here. I know some people that can sing. Like that's how I'm trying to make, man. Just trying to keep a community that you don't know what's coming next from me and the artists that I work around. So that's what I say.
Who's some of your biggest musical influence artists that you know definitely molded, shaped your style, your perspective?
Man, number one, I'm always running with to this day, Ray Charles. He was one of the dopest artists when it comes to just being able to do what he did. Like he had obstacles and boundaries, and he wasn't afraid of none of them. And that's how you gotta attack this game. It's like Ray Charles, and singing really is how I started, to be honest. But when it comes to the rap, like when I really started dabbling in both worlds, like that's really what made the man out of me, like just playing football and meeting connections with other people. So when I say music artist, like I was out here really trying to find myself, and I felt like at a point I was kind of blind. Like, so Ray Charles was one of them type people that showed me like, you gotta learn whether you blind or you not, you know? So you gotta know how to negotiate, you gotta know how to be your own businessman at the end of the day. James Brown was another great artist at that too. And then going back to seeing like Prince and Michael Jackson, like them some people that you naturally just idolize. Like you see that man every day doing what he loves to do, but then you also hear about the things he got to go through. But for him to have that strength to keep going, like them is people you naturally just gravitate to. So it's like for all the great singers that done this, you know, I always had high respect for. When it comes to the hip hop game, hip hop didn't really have a chance. When you really look at it, that's how people thought. But then now look at it, it's the biggest, most dominant music genre here. So of course you're gonna want a piece of that. Like, of course you want to be around that. And that's like the hidden things that people don't know, man. This whole music thing, it brings every type of music together. So that's why I say, man, Jay, you know, Kanye, them people that they started on their own, them people that they like my Jordan, my Kobe, and my generation, you know. And that's how I look at the hip hop world. It's like, but then you gotta respect Tupac, you gotta respect Biggie. So just knowing that I got, man, every artist, if you doing it and you really making money for you and your family, then you one of my favorites. That's how I see it, man.
What does money mean to you?
Money is something that's a resource to connect people. If you got a lot of money, you can do a lot of things. Let's just say it that way. So at the end of the day, you know, money is something that I definitely, you know, agree that it needs to have, it needs to be here. Like, it helps people to get around. It's a control mechanism, but it's also a way that you can discipline your mind. So that's why I say with money, man, you gotta love it, like, because you see what you can do for yourself and for others.
What's the most personal song you've done on this new project, and why?
Most personal song, I definitely would say my track that I made with my boy Jones Michael, the Where You Going. That was one of my tracks. Like, I guess you could say, like, that's one of the things that I felt like I was just at a zone. Me and him just linked up one time when I was in Durham, and we popped up, and just like I do all my other tracks, I was coming up with a hook. He was making a little timing on the beat, and then we made the shit flow. And really what I was talking about in that is just development and speaking out what I do it for. Like the verse at the end when I was talking about my nieces and nephews, like that's my biggest passion other than my mom and people, family. Like, you gotta impress them, you know. So I don't just take this as a game to where it's just you throw something out there just to throw something out there because you can make a quick buck. I also want to think about how I present myself, who I represent when I present myself. So that's something that's huge for me. So Where You Going was one of them tracks that all the shit that I was going through was really for them. And even when I was even thinking, like, in the moment, like, damn, why am I doing this type shit? You know, you only develop experience from being street smart and book smart. So it's one of them things that Where You Going was one of them tracks that just put all my life into one, like one little song. So I feel like.
Are you already working on anything new? Or are you focused on this project for now?
Oh, we always working on stuff that's new, man. Like, I mean, you know, me and you personally knowing each other, you heard some tracks that I ain't let hit the streets yet. But it's all about timing for me, so it's like, I'm all about just seeing how things work, getting people's attention and seeing what people like on this tape. So then I know what this new style that I'm bringing, it's like, oh, they ain't gonna expect some of this stuff. And then it's gonna make people double take. And that's what it's all about. Like, just being at the studio, I was making one track with my boy Wood. And the lady outside the bar, as soon as I walked out, was just, giving me some praise and saying, like, we was listening to it, we heard that, like, when's that coming out? And it's like, it's kind of crazy. Because my homeboy even said, he was like, bro, you got to start, respecting yourself and understanding that, yeah, you can instantly impress people and you can't be shocked by that. So that was one of the things that, this next line of songs, I've been more focus driven on what I'm actually saying and keeping it to where it's developing people's minds at the end of the day. So that's why I'm still learning how to be personable, but also, speak for more than just myself.
Alright, so we'll round it off to Luke's last question. When you feel like giving up, and maybe you should be a regular citizen, a person, what keep you going? What make you keep writing, keep recording, and keep creating?
Man, the passion. The passion is something you can't shut off. And it's something that the spirit of energy and just being able to wake up every day, it's a driving passion that's bigger than you. And once you understand that, you wake up every day for that passion that's always been inside of you. So it's a lot of people that like to turn their fire off, or they're afraid to live with that passion, and they'll accept that 40 club. Like, but me, I'm just one of the ones that's like, this been waking me up before I even started really just thinking about, okay, every day is about this dollar. Because music, yeah, I was doing music at a point where it wasn't about the money, but because I was getting money in other ways, working jobs, doing other things. And when I started learning about how this music, if I took it as serious as I was doing everything else, then that's when I learned, like, okay, cool, this can become what I've really been believing in, been dreaming of, been seeing, been going through, understanding, like, having chances at all these TV shows and different singing shows, and my mama turning all that down, like, nah, you don't need that, you don't need that, because I wasn't ready yet. So that's why I was just like, one of them things to where I had to learn still the business. So that's why I was like, yeah, the passion overall waking me up, but knowing the game is a business, it's like, hey, that passion's gonna keep me going with music regardless. So now I gotta learn the business and be able to control a piece of my business because I'm the artist. So being the business and the product was the biggest thing I learned from this whole couple years. But that's what I could say, like, that's what's gonna keep me going, that passion, and knowing that that passion comes from just living for the people that I love and care for and being able to provide for them. That's the biggest thing for me. So.
And lastly, what do you want your legacy to be? How you want to be remembered?
As a guy that anybody could talk to. Straight up. Like, that's what I say. My legacy is the people person, man. Like, though I got me in mind, I'm a man of the people at the end of the day, and I'm all about empowering the next, because we all got enough that we got to struggle and go through daily. So when it comes to all that hating and all the other shit that comes with the game, that comes with the game. You got to be able to reflect that energy, but it's one of those things that we learn that as a person, when you could just really do what you say you want to do for others, but don't always say it to the wrong people. Like, and that's why I learned, like, just being able to know who's the right people and who's the wrong people to be around. So that's why I could say, that's my answer for that. Just being a man of the people, but just understanding that, everybody don't like it once it start coming and happening for you. So you gotta learn how to keep your company, your friends close. So that's how I do it.
If you can tell your future kids anything right now, what would you say to them?
I did this for you, straight up.